Pick a card. How do you surprise others? Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you at your reading. Hi friends, my name is Griselle with Psychic MD and I'm here to do your reading. So today we're going to be visiting a little bit about how do you surprise others. This is the intention and selection portion of your reading. You can skip ahead and just go directly to your pile if you'd like. I'll leave a picture so you can make your selection. In the meantime, I'd like to take a moment to thank all of you new subscribers for showing up. I really do appreciate your support. And for those of you that are repeat offenders, thank you for showing up as well. So let's get this nice and hot. I really need a different lighter, but for now, this is what we got. How do you surprise others? And we're going to start with some rosemary. Rosemary, baby. Maybe you guys could be a fan of horror movies. Maybe some of you guys are actually interested in the paranormal, which wouldn't be that much of a reach, right? So, what are people set on believing about you? And how and what surprises others? I'm going to be sharing with you some channel messages that I meditated on for each pile. But this is a pile selection. How do you surprise others? For pile number 1, Temperance. Pile number 2, the Page of Swords. And pile number 3, the Queen of Swords. Make your selection. I'll leave a picture as well so you can see this a little bit easier, and I'll see you at your pile. Please pause if you need more time. Hi, pile 1. My name is Griselle with Psychic MD, and I'm here to do your reading. If you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome. If you have just subscribed, I really appreciate your support. And for those of you that are repeat offenders, thank you so much for stopping back. How do you surprise others? I'm going to pull a couple of cards, and then I'm going to read you my channel messages. Pile number 1, you chose Temperance. Oh, goodness. Okay. When I say a couple, I'm gonna do whatever Spirit tells me. How do you surprise others? I have the 9 of Swords. You could be quite the overthinker. You can get caught up in your head. You could create powerful boundaries. And I'm hearing you can have standards to live up to that are really nearly impossible to navigate at times. With the 7 of Pentacles right here, you surprise others by the ability to make an assessment. Also, how loving and giving you are, how genuine you are. This is the Knight of Cups, sometimes in love with love. Romantic, you could be very dreamy. Very much about like family, about love. I feel like people, this surprises people, and we're going to find out why. And I feel like this is a why. People are really surprised that you can make sudden moves. People are surprised that you can be so different than what they initially make the assessment of. Yes, you're loving. Yes, you're giving. Yes, you definitely feel things from the heart. But if you encounter people that don't have your best interests or that continuously are taking from you, you will cut them out. You will take off. You'll leave them in the dust. If people are a constant drain, if you bring nothing healthy or equitable to the table, at a certain point, you're just going to make your move. And that could be quite shocking for some people. Now, I'm going to go ahead and read you my download. Pile number 1. I don't know if you're going to be able to read this. That's okay. So pile number 1, the download. I am what I am. I got really big Popeye vibes. If you guys are old enough to know, if not, you can look up who Popeye is. But basically, lyrics are like, I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I live in the garbage can. Basically, people have seen you overcome odds and challenges. And most never overcome or admit those odds and challenges to themselves. So they stay in a level of stagnancy. And I think that these are a lot of people from your past that are surprised that you're able to overcome or to level up, or to, if you want to like think of it as like climb that ladder. They're surprised by your transparency. Your energy is very addictive. You're unapologetically real. And you're very vocal about your shadow and negative traits. And I think that people are really shocked by that, because most people tend to feel a lot of shame about what their negative traits are, what they consider negative traits. And it is a breath of fresh air. But I think that it's so shocking to people that you become a little bit of a crutch or addictive, or you can attract a lot of stalkers, which is interesting because I almost said the word attack and I wasn't intending on saying that word. So pile number 1, you are definitely a force to be reckoned with. And I think people are shocked by that, especially because on initial glance, and it could be perhaps like how you appear physically into the 3D world, you could be a little bit like hippie, or a little going with the flow, or a little, I mean, she's all in white, and to me that's like a very spiritual person, like love and light. But what people don't realize is that love and light requires a lot of effort, a lot of mucking through difficult things, wading waters that people don't even want to acknowledge or look at, let alone transcend or ascend. You have an incredible talent of transmuting things within your heart, within your mind, and it reflects on the 3D world. And with their fingers out like this, I'm like, deuces. I feel like you're, yeah, definitely able to peace out on people in situations that don't become you. Your level up has been quite the shock to other people as well. And the fact that you've like brought yourself into a state of completeness, out of stasis, out of stagnancy, out of a very difficult situation perhaps, or perhaps you've been surrounded by people that kind of want to do what they want to do. They're not the best of characters, and others couldn't see how you're going to wade your way out of that. Like they would never even consider thinking that way. For example, it's like, well, these are your long childhood friends, or you live with them, or, you know, their family, they are, you know, coworkers or whomever they are, and you've been able to really ascend. Your name could be Iris, or you could have something to do with Iris, or you could have really piercing eyes, beautiful hair. You could have an incredible level of balance. Also, with the Temperance card, I definitely have to bring it back to what I feel is one of the original meanings, at least for me. And it's it could be balancing things out in your life, like balancing negative and positive polarities so that you're not swayed one way or another. And this could also have to do with overcoming addictions of any sort as well. Pile number 1, how do you surprise others? How do you surprise others? I feel like people, I don't want to say it, people thought you were weak, but they've awakened to the fact that because you're an ally and you have strong, powerful allies on the other side, as well as on this plane, on the physical plane, you've been able to really navigate and level up. You're so much stronger, more powerful, more focused than what people give you credit for. I'm looking at her throat chakra and this beautiful necklace that she has. And I feel like maybe even once upon a time, because I'm not getting necessarily like decoration. I feel like an enslavement or a control, like people wanted to control or want to control what you have to say. And what surprises, yep, I just cracked on that. What surprises them is that you're not allowing that to be controlled, first of all. You can have a connection also. I'm going to launch. I'm going to be launching a party, and just kidding. I'm going to be releasing a video on Monday as well. And this card came out in that video. It was a little bit, I don't want to say confusing, but a little bit deep and intricate. So I didn't want to release it right after my collaboration. But anyways, people could really feel like you are original, ideal, and that you're making great progress in your life. And they just could be really shocked. They could be really shocked. Yeah. At how you handle life, how you handle yourself, how you've been able to integrate yourself into wholeness. Because I feel like maybe perhaps before they were seeing bits and pieces of you, I feel like perhaps you had the energy more of, I acquiesce, I kind of give in, I go with the flow, where I don't say much, I don't agree, but I'm not going to advocate for change, or I'm not going to fight this battle. Maybe perhaps you were underage, or you're surrounded by a multitude of hyenas or hecklers, or for whatever reason, it was just not the time. And it could be that simply you hadn't really risen into your power and into your throne at that point in time. Yeah, you were actually deeply rooted in silence, and you were growing in silence, very much like a little seedling into Mother Nature, Mother Earth, right? Where it takes some time to water, to get some sunlight, the temperature has to be right, and you were busy germinating and changing and growing and sprouting, right? And developing roots, so that when you came into your own and the trees need a really good root system, that you would become a force to be reckoned with, simply because you have really good root system, that you're not a new seedling, that you're going to be uprooted. And I feel like this was divine protection as well. So you've been able to really integrate your shadow. And also, I feel like there is an exposure here. I feel like you are someone who is speaking your truth. I feel like you can look into the souls of people, actually. Like quite intense. You have this intense energy about you that is quite shocking. And when you do speak, people are really stunned. They're genuinely surprised that you're able to pick up on what you're able to pick up on. They could feel in some ways that maybe perhaps you are reading their minds. You could have a very like tribal-like energy about you. But again, I feel a very fluid, independent energy about you. And this has everything to do with this. I feel like with the sorcerer right here, people can think, wow, she's into sorcery, he's into sorcery. I don't read sex, I read energy on this channel. But I feel like you have been aided in so many ways from the other side, that regardless of your challenges and hardships, people are shocked that you've been able to kind of lift your hands up and gather all of that energy, and be able to manifest maybe perhaps the life that you want, or be able to melt away an image that people had of you, so that you can become fundamentally who you are. I think people are really shocked at that. They're shocked at your ambition, your willpower, and your ability to create. So whether you are a content creator, or whether you are we're all creators, but simply trying to create a life that you want, yeah, of abundance, of prosperity, of contentment, of peace, of gratitude. Look at all the rings. I'm here for it, you guys. Check this out. Right? I haven't figured out how to wear all my rings all at once yet, but I will. Don't worry. Pile number 1, we have prosperity here. And I feel like that prosperity you are stepping into right now, I feel like you're seeing the beginnings of it, but there's more to be had. The more that you get closer to nature, the more that you get centered, the more that you breathe in, maybe perhaps even practicing things like yoga or meditation or mindfulness or clean eating or all the above, fasting, whatever your thing is, right? I feel like you're entering a period of prosperity. And I think that you are highly decorated. I am getting a lot of energy on my own crown chakra right now. And I feel like this is just stating, pile number one, keep going, that you are indeed doing what you are meant to do. And this is going to serve, yes, to you're going to wind up with haters. I mean, it's just going to happen. But you're also going to be able to inspire those very same people in spite of themselves to really want to glow up, to really want to change, to really think about their own lives. And that's part of what this hate or envy or jealousy is. I think that those are obviously lower level emotions, but I feel like those are prompted, and they're there to really serve as a seed of a catalytic seed. Is that even a word? I don't know. We make up words on this channel, but to be a catalyst in order for other people to really grow and to really think about their own lives, to germinate themselves into a sense. So in a lot of ways, you, pile number one, are definitely a change agent. Now, before I forget, I wanted to let you know I am doing a May giveaway, May 2024. Now, these readings are timeless, but I do have a giveaway, and I'm going to do the drawing on the 31st. Not many people have entered, so your chances of winning are pretty darn high. And I'm going to say, if you go to my community tab and take a look there, it'll give you specific instructions on how to do it. Super simple. Just go to the tab, type in, I'm here for it. That's my saying. And you have a chance to win a 30-minute reading with me. So, that aside, let's get some final messages here, because that's a lot. Also, back to your reading. Ta-da! Yes! What? You are a creator. You are definitely, I feel like you're a content creator. You could be creative. You could enjoy like painting or decorating, or I was watching this lady on, I don't know, TikTok probably. That's my preferred, don't judge me. That's my preferred method of entertainment. I don't like IG, and I don't like Facebook, or I'm not really down with Rumble and things like that, but whatever. Anyways, I was watching this girl, and she was doing videos of her mom, and her mom is a creator, and she really takes things from nature, such as these beautiful, they're maple pods, and she creates like landscapes with them, or she creates scenery almost like a painting, but nothing is glued and nothing is tacked on. Simply it's just laid there, and they support each other with leaves and a whole bunch of natural stuff. And then when she's done, they photograph it so they can make prints, and then she returns it to nature or recycles it into something else. It's so beautiful. But you could really have a lot of creative energy at your disposal. Anything that bogs down your creativity, you're out. Anything that holds you back, you're out. Anything that pulls you back into your shadow side that you've been able to conquer, not that we're not like always struggling with something or having parts of our shadow side trying to pull us back. Well, you're going to be out there too. Any negative sorcery, any negative spell casting, speaking negative words about you, things like that, you're out. Anything that affects your prosperity, the moochers, the people that want to ride your coattails, people that want things from you but never have anything to share as well. And it's not that you're not willing to be generous, it's that you are setting limits on the takers. They don't like that. And you're going to be like, deuces, I'm out. Okay, peace, I'm out. Whatever your thing is. Last message, forgiveness. So I feel like people are really surprised by you, because your idea of forgiveness, first of all, is so very different. Forgiveness is for you to be able to move on, for you to be able to grow, to not stay stuck on an emotional tie, emotional connection, mental connection, physical connection with situations and time frames and timelines and personalities that no longer serve you. So forgiveness is something that you're able to do, to accept choices that people have made and how they are and all the things, but be able to sever those and to keep it moving. It's given you your freedom back. It's given you your uniqueness back. And that's not saying that, you know, people say, well, forgive and forget it. Sure. But really, if you enable people to continue the same behavior over and over again, you are actually really helping that person destroy themselves. I'm sorry. That's just how I see it. So it's going to be very important that you really analyze your idea of forgiveness and how that binds you to other people and sets you free. Forgiveness doesn't mean, as you guys well know, I don't have to lecture, but it doesn't mean allowing people to do things over and over again to you or create the same offense or even being in the same frame or timeline as them. Forgiveness is allowing them to be, but also forgiving yourself and allowing yourself to move on or allowing yourself to be. So that's what I have for you. If you're liking this kind of reading, do give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys so much. Until next time, namaste. Hi, Pile 2. My name is Grisel with Psychic MD. Pile number 2, if you chose this cute little page with the birdies all in her hair and that wonderful balanced sword on the palm of her hand, then this message is for you. Pile number 2, how do you surprise others? And I have to be real honest with you. When I tapped in your energy, I downloaded some messages. And I don't typically channel messages before the reading. I just channel as I read. But I did it this time, and your energy was so deep. I'm going to share that with you. Let's see. I don't know if you'll be able to read my handwriting. But here we go. So pile number 2 for you, I got gentle, emotional, empath, and deep. I was channeling the song because I kept hearing it and I just couldn't not write it down. See a chandelier. I'm going to fly, swing from the chandelier. I'm going to fly like a bird in the night. So basically, she's hanging on for dear life, throwing back drinks. And this alludes to addictions, abandonment of self for the moment, and then the shame of having that cycle of maybe drinking and addiction and things like that, or living in the moment. So I feel like the people that are you're surprising the most could be people that maybe perhaps used to party with, used to hang out with, used to have a good time with, or whatever that thing was that you would just kind of abandon self and just give yourself into the moment. This could be like a drinking buddy, I don't know, party buddy, whatever you want to think about, right? And the interesting part about that is I feel like people have not only seen you change out of that, but that you've been able to really grow, educate yourself, think things through in a certain way, but also cut things off in you that were holding you back into that cycle of addiction. I know, and by all means, I mean, I share this on my channel quite a bit. I am not judgy about the addiction thing. I've had my own battles with addiction, and I'd put myself through rehab a couple of times, a few times, maybe 3 or 4, I don't know. But, and none of it was at court mandated. Like, I just felt like I wanted to help. So I don't feel judgmental about that. But I'm going to say that you're really surprising people at how you've been able to change. And out of all of that, because I knew you during the party days and abandoning yourself to the moment, maybe raves and dancing and clubbing and doing, you know, living that kind of a life. And I think that when they see you now or even hear you or hear of you, they're really surprised to hear how deep you are, how the depth of emotion courses through your veins, and how easily and how eloquently you speak of things like that. They don't even recognize you. In a lot of ways, pile number 2, I feel like you don't recognize yourself. Look, I have the Conjurer here. With the number 31, you've been able to really bring about your highest self, not only by changing your habits, changing your ideas, thinking things through, and cutting things off that really don't serve, but you're in tune with your higher self, with fertility and creativity. I wouldn't be surprised if you also came from pile number 1. Now, pile number 2, this Conjurer, when it gets reduced, the number, we have the number 4, and this is about balance. This is about stability. This is about strong foundations. It really gives me a lot of Emperor vibes, and I'm going to say that this tells me that you are building a foundation that you can easily stand upon, and that it's not shakable anymore. And while you have emotions and feelings that run deep, 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 and you might be somebody who loves poetry and flowery words and the beautiful things in life, and I definitely feel like, you know, with my channel messages of you being gentle, emotional, empathic, and deep as well, I'm going to say that at first glance, people would not take you for that softness, that soft energy, that gentle energy, okay? Whereas with pile number 1, they definitely have an aesthetic that might be a little bit softer and yet intense. I feel like they would not have guessed that from you. Yeah, so flow, recovery, what I tell you, moving on, finding peace. I feel like you found yourself. You found your stability, you found your higher self, and you're able to, I feel like you're very inquisitive. You're all about learning, maybe integrating new things that you've heard, that you've read about, that you've studied upon. I'm hearing mathematics, mathematician. I feel like now you have to really look at things and you understand that A, B, and C lead to, you know, a certain path. And you're, well, look at my mathematics and I spit out the alphabet to you. Anyways, but you get the gist, okay? You get the idea that you are definitely able to look at your own trajectory in life and see what is good for you and where it's going to lead to. And now you're doing things not only like mind over heart, but you still have that depth, that ability to go deep within, yet you are choosing options that help your life be more stable, in your relationships. So I feel like you're known as an intellectual, a quick study. You might have a sharp tongue. I mean, I resemble that remark. So again, no judgment there. Nest. What? And the sun is changing directions. I'm like, I really need to shoot earlier, I think. But anyways, we have the nest with the number 41. Again, the number 4 is being alluded to, and I feel like recovery, moving on. This is about cooperation, being in the flow, accepting help when needed, giving it when it's needed, and all things like that. But you are forming a nest, a little nest on the top of your mind, and I feel like you are gleaning all sorts of learning from the debris, the rubble of your past behavior, things like that. And you're able to really build a nest upon this and say, well, this wasn't necessarily the best for me, but on this foundation, I stand. And it's like, I know what it's like to undergo hard times or to make really bad decisions or hang out with birds of a feather that really should be plucked. I'm just kidding. But really that are just not good for you. You know, if you, and I feel like you have learned kind of at a younger age, or you appear very youthful, whatever the thing is. People know that you're really smart, by the way. Did I mention that? So charity, generosity, and gratitude. I feel like you are definitely somebody who is grateful for where you're at. You could be very quick-witted, a fast study, all of the things, right? But people are really shocked to know how deep you are, how in the flow you are. Like when you walk into a room, you're able to read a room. You're able to not only just read a room, but I feel like you absorb energy, such as myself. So I have to be really, really careful. If somebody's feeling a certain way, especially if they're feeling sadness or emotional or things of that nature, it's easy for me to tap into it. And one trick that I learned, if you wind up feeling kind of morose or sad or whatever, explore those feelings and look around the room and make sure that you're just not absorbing other people's feelings, because I give those right back to them. I'm trying to have your feelings in mine too. Look, with the depth, we have the mermaid here, and these cards are not all aquatic at all. New beginning. Have courage to open a new door. This is you. You have courage to open up new doors, to start new things, to investigate whatever is different and check for treasure there. Your wish is coming true. Celebrate your successes. And so pile number 2, how you're surprising others, is your ability to celebrate your successes, like one step at a time, even the small little things that you appear to have won, like maybe perhaps balance, or maybe an understanding of how you can choose mind over emotion, mind over heart over mind. Yeah, mind over heart and things like that. But you are surprising other people because you have a new beginning. And maybe perhaps very much like this snake right here. There are a lot of changes that you've undergone, that you are going through. Maybe you like flowers and things like that. So you're blooming and changing, but the snake is always, not always, I don't know a lot about reptiles. But I'm going to say that a lot of snakes, from what I've read, they actually do shed their skin, and evidently it could be painful. I don't know. But it could be painful in that shedding of the skin. I feel like people have been able to see you shed many skins and develop a toughness and develop a stability, and going from like somebody who's really emotional and sensitive and tender, which I resemble all of those. Let me tell you, I have to work hard to really not take things personally, but I feel like they've been able to really see you blooming in all these different areas of your life. And how you surprise even new people, like coworkers and new people that you encounter, is your sense of balance and your sense of keeping it fun as well. And you're like, yep, I'm super sensitive, so I got to think my way through this box. Let's do it. You know, you got to have a sense of humor about it. She seems to be in good spirits and laughing. You could be somebody also who is in tune with your chakras. I feel like your third eye could be popping a little bit, but also your crown chakra. Yeah, you have the ability to let go. And very much I'm being led to this like maple seed pod thingy. I'm a little bit like enthralled with them. So these guys tend to like helicopter. I think there's another word for it, but they literally like can propagate almost anywhere, is a rumor. Now, I'm sure if I try to plant these, they probably won't. But these have the ability, it's like the ability of letting go. You have the ability to let go, to try new things, to not get bogged down on anything, and to trust the universe that going with the flow, you're going to have new beginnings and that your wishes are coming true. You could be in academia. You could be a student, a lifelong student, always learning, implementing something different. You could be really, I keep hearing mathematic, very scientific. You could be somebody that really just studies things and logs it and checks for change. Yeah. You could definitely be like an energy worker, a healer, a Reiki worker, acupuncturist, acupressurist, maybe even naturopath. Oh. Yeah, you've learned how to trust. You've learned how to trust your ability to make an assessment, but also you learned how to trust spirit. Faith in the power of the universe. And I also feel like because the sword is right here, you have a lot of like, you experiment with your speech, your words, knowing that they are spells. We are spelling, right? And when we say negative things about ourselves, then you are just reinforcing that and bringing more of that. But I feel like you are experimenting or taking small steps to implement some more positive things being said so that you can actually see those changes, and you have seen those changes. It could be small things like I'm supported by the divine, I'm supported by the universe. There's always sunniness wherever I go. I bring joy and happiness, and in return, I receive joy and happiness. Or I lend help, and I also receive help. You're in the flow. Now, something about this reminds me a little bit of the brain, the structure of the brain. So you could be into psychology. I heard psychometry as well, probably because they both start with psy. This could have also to do with maybe nerves, nerve damage, a study of the nerves or something like that. So maybe you have a very like hair trigger nervous system like I do. And it's something that maybe perhaps you are studying your nervous system to see what can calm it down. Such as myself, I found teas to really kind of calm down my nerves. And it, you know, things like that can come from living in a fight or flight for so long that you don't know how to calm those things down, typically due to trauma. You could be really interested in science, or simply you could just really love nature and and see what it's birthing. It almost looks like a divine egg back here. So I think people are just really shocked by you, shocked by all the changes, shocked by your ability to follow guidance. You're divinely guided. Yeah. So you're divinely guided. You could be a seer such as myself. You could have, let's see if we can move this in the camera without causing utter chaos. You could have different crystal balls, right, that you do scrying with and things like that, such as myself. But see, this is almost echoing the snake that we saw earlier right here. And it could be echoing a little bit of her form too. You have an ability to deal with mummies, people that are kind of petrified and maybe wounded and just walking around without a desire to change, or even knowing that maybe they can change and be a catalyst in their own lives. I don't know why I got that, but that's for someone. Yeah, you could really love flowers. I see more flowers here. And a ton of energy. You could have high energy, or be focused on energy. Also, I feel like you're divinely protected. It seems like this is a strong line all of a sudden from people that just want to take and steal your energy. And you've come over a lot of like mountaintops and highs and lows and things that have really serve to deplete you in a lot of ways. And I feel like now is your time to be divinely supported. So you are being taken care of. People that want to come and eat up your energy vampires who just want to take and not contribute anything, or people that are looky-loos, that study you with jealousy, envy in their hearts or whatever, or even spell cast you, right? They are on rocky oceans, rocky waves right now. And I see this really big fish on top of the water, actually, with its mouth open. And I think it's like the stingrays, is it? Manta rays? I don't know. They open their mouths really big and they filter all the plankton and things like that. All the little things that go in there, they filter what they can eat. So they're not like jaws or anything. Yeah, but I think that you get into people's heads, because this to me looks like a cranium right now. And once again, I feel like you guys are definitely an agent of change. I feel like people that come to my channel are really looking to ascend to be their highest good, and inadvertently, in spite of ourselves and in spite of all odds, you wind up inspiring people around you. Now, sometimes that inspiration can look like envy, it can look like jealousy, and it can be, but it's really designed to get those people to take off that mummy bandage that they have, that mummified ace bandage around them, and to get them to get rid of the things that are holding them back so that they too can ascend. I almost see this figure all in purple with a long train, and there seems to be a belly right here, like a pregnancy, so it can mean something to someone. But I feel like you really, this is going to sound so bad, I shouldn't say, but here we go. You serve to really impregnate others with ideas on their own glow up and how they can achieve their own guidance and ultimately have peace within themselves and go about their mission as needed. So yeah, so that's what I have. And I wanted to encourage you guys also for May 2024, I do have a giveaway. It's in the community tab. You can go there and just type in, I'm here for it. You can enter a drawing for a 30-minute reading for yours truly. If you're interested, that would be great. There's not a lot of entries thus far. Therefore, in my eyes, you have more of a chance to win. So that's what I have for you guys. Thank you so much for your time, your energy. Continue surprising others. I feel like you're not even worried about people in general. I think that you are so amazed and excited about what you're learning and how things are changing and evolving, that you're future focused and moving forward. So good for you. I'm definitely here for it. Much, much love to you. Until next time. Hi friends, my name is Griselle with Psychic MD, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 3, you chose the Queen of Swords. All dramatic like. If you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome. If you are a new subscriber, I thank you so much for your support. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and I definitely can't do it without you. So you guys, you chose the Queen of Swords. I have some messages that I downloaded, so I'm super excited to share that with you. But before we proceed any further, let's get a little sagey sage, just because we can. Hopefully without burning the house down, right? Pile number 3. What surprises other people about you is how astute you are. This is not only a smart pile, but I feel like people that come to this channel are very like scientific, very precise. You guys could be like engineers, very maybe in the medical field, very scientific. I need to figure out how to administer this medication, or you need to think about processes in a very methodical way. And I'm watching the smoke exit through the screen outside. It's kind of, I've never seen it do that before in this way anyways. And I feel like you get rid of the smoke, any smoke screens, anything that could serve to try to like hide itself or whatever, you penetrate right through it with your piercing eyes. I'm gonna say that. You're really quite regal. I mean, is she not? Beautiful. Pile number 3, how do you surprise others? I'm going to go ahead and read to you the download that I got. And you can follow along if you can read my writing. If not, I'll read it to you. Pile 3, shocking receptivity to light and healing. And healing with faith. I see a huge beam of light entering. And this was like a person's being. So pile 3, blinding, and I'm here for it. You're like gold, willing and trusting the fire to burn everything that's impure, getting rid of the darkness. You've had a struggle with darkness and trying to push you back. Depression, possibly. You've encountered agents of suppression, control, and obsession. And you could be somebody who's multilingual. Okay, so I feel like some of you guys could be bilingual, trilingual, multilingual. I don't know any more than that. you're probably smarter than me, you know those things. But pile number 3, you surprise people because you're very analytical and yet you're very spiritual by the same token. And I feel like it is a little bit like that love and light, but oh, this is not good. No, you don't need to see the microphone. Excuse me. It's love and light, but you're not afraid to tell people go F themselves, okay? And I mean that respectfully. Well, let's see. Let's use these cards right here. How do you surprise others? How do you surprise others, please? I feel like you could be tall, statuesque, or you carry yourself with authority and you appear taller than what you are, even if you are tall. So if you're 6, your energy feels like it's 7 feet tall. If you're 4'9", your energy could appear like you're 6 feet, right? Shelter, spiritual growth. And that was hard to say. Spiritual growth, accountability, healing, with a shelter right here. Now, one thing I'm going to say is that you are feared. You're my pile that you've matured. You've graduated from being a page, from being a knight, and you are the Queen of Swords. So ain't nobody messing with you. I feel like what you say goes. People rarely challenge you, and when they do, they're going to be open to scrutiny, open to, I heard a mathematical debate. I don't even know what that is, okay? But I feel like you're like, yep, 2 + 2 = this, and I'm going to look at it, make an assessment, make a judgment, next, keep it moving. Like, this doesn't fly, and this is why. So you can get to the heart of the matter. You could be blunt. You could be really precise with your words, and usually nothing escapes you. I'm hearing that old song. It's like, nothing can stop me. I'm on my way up. You could provide shelter for the weak, for the needy, for people that can't stand up for themselves. I feel like you're somebody who, with all this power, people could be really shocked at how tender and loving you are towards other people that are at a disadvantage, maybe like children or causes like pets, animals. What's that word? Philanthropic? Philanthropy? I can't say it, but you know that word? That word, okay? I feel like you can pick up on people's angst also. And sometimes you are the mouthpiece, right? You're the mouthpiece for people that can't speak for themselves. So you could be an advocate. People can literally get behind you if they are feeling, they feel very, very like sheltered by you. Like you're a protector. You're a great protector. And a formidable opponent. And people love that about you. And I feel like once people understand that you're not out to cut throats and take numbers later, people understand that you only wield that sword when you have to. And I don't think that there's a lot of gentleness in it when you do. I think that you're a matter of fact, you're concise, and that's what's even scarier. You could really have an air of intimidation about you, but the people that you defend, I feel like love you unconditionally. I feel like they look up to you, they admire you. And the surprise and how you surprise others is how tender and loving you are and how willing to be indignant on people's behalf, people that cannot speak for themselves, people that don't have the strength to stand up for themselves, and how you're willing to put yourself even in harm's way in order to make them feel like they have shelter and protection and love and support, and that they have a voice, even if it is through yours, until they get strong enough to speak on their own. Quite the shock. Shadow. Wholeness, integration, repressed emotions. I'm going to say also that this pile could be really surprising others at how you speak, how eloquent you are. Indeed, I feel like this is my pile that maybe perhaps you don't say a lot, but when you do, people listen and they can't help but be surprised. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of like off with their heads, but I'm also getting like I see this like Grim Reaper creature right here taking care of this person who is blind and who has a little baby doll, and she's got a little blanket on. So I feel like people can hide behind you in a lot of ways, in a lot of instances, and you don't mind that, because I feel like once upon a time you could have craved or wanted that ability to hide behind someone else, and perhaps that's what's made you a tough person or a force to be reckoned with. Now, pile number 3. Hello. Oh, Ascension. Okay. You guys are like really spiritual. And also I feel like you guys have a sense of humor. That's quite unexpected. The level of spirituality here is really surprising. Transformation, end of a cycle, and beginnings. And I feel like you have the ability to see people through their transformations, have a vision for them. I feel like not only, I think that you're a visionary, honestly, a visionary with all this purple in background. I feel like that's a very spiritual color as well as a royal color. But again, with the blue being alluded right here, I feel like your speech is shocking to people. Maybe perhaps you weren't someone who was very verbose. Maybe you were a silent witness. Wow, that came out of nowhere. Maybe you are like a silent witness, or you're in law enforcement, or you are a lawyer. But whatever it is, I feel like nobody's going to want to willingly step to the throne to debate you, pile number 3. And I'm here for it. I love that. And by the way, I'm having I have to insert my plug here because I always forget. I'm having a May 2024 giveaway. So these readings are timeless, pile number 3. But if you're interested in the May giveaway, which is going to be a 30-minute reading with me, go ahead and go to my community tab and type in "I'm here for it" for a chance to enter into this drawing, a chance to win for this giveaway. So you can actually put it in these comments too. Or the community tab would be better actually. But the announcement on the winner will be made on May 2024. On the 31st, 2024. And I'm saying this because the readings are timeless. So if you listen to this after May, that's not the giveaway anymore. Uncover nostalgia, sentimentality, and memory. People are really surprised at how sentimental you could be. I feel like people, especially whom you take up their cause. And listen, I feel like this could be a lot of different things, but one example, a real life example I'm going to give you is once upon a time, I took up a cause for a coworker, and I just really felt like she was being wronged, and she wouldn't stand up for herself. So I went and I spoke on her behalf, and that was my mistake. But I learned that in speaking, and I was very vocal in front of this person and the authority at the time, you know, that this wasn't right. Not once did this person like stand up to defend themselves or to even back me up and saying I've been feeling that way or anything. So long story short, I was standing up for someone who basically I felt like I put myself in harm's way to defend someone else is my point. So I feel like you could have done things like that, but I feel like you were a lot wiser, a lot savvier than what I did. And I'd like to think I'm smarter than that right now. But you still stand up for people, and you do it in a manner that is appropriate, right? And people get really sentimental with you. They get nostalgic thinking of you, of the times when you stood up for them, that you came to bat for them, how you loved them unconditionally, how you helped them bloom and grow wherever it was that they were at that point in time when you encountered them or they encountered you. I feel like you are somebody who they know they can come back, and they feel comfortable that you will shelter them. Like if it's someone from years gone by, years past, they feel like they can come back and they feel safe with you in spite of this. Like a little bit scared, but a little bit safe. Okay, that's my point. You could like high fashion. You could dress to impress. You could wear really dark colors. You could have dark aesthetics. But people are surprised at how you can get nostalgic and you can get lost in memory as well. You can get very sentimental when it comes to people, and you have to actively bring out that sword and say, okay, well, this is years ago, and make a new assessment. Is that person still in the same situation? Do they need me to defend, or do they need me to just be a support and to teach and to mentor or whatever, right? So we're not taking broken birds over and over and over again. We're teaching broken birds how to mend and how to fly on their own. You teach people how to end cycles, how to transform as well. And you do that by simply transforming and ascending yourself. How do you surprise others? Pile number 3. Peacefulness, receptiveness. What I tell you, this goes directly with my channeling messages right here. When it says shocking receptivity to light and healing faith. I feel like you have been down in the dredges, like maybe perhaps you were even in the military or experienced some kind of a militant history or past. Maybe you had a spouse or a parent that was extremely militant. Yeah. And it took you into very dark places, and you had to really figure out how to grow at that point in time where you were planted. And I feel like the shocking thing is how receptive you are to spirit, to God, to you know, whatever it is, higher self, a higher power, to really download light codes and things like that, and to really help grow your heart into even a different realm, into like the 5D. You could appear very stoic, but people who really know you know that you have an incredibly soft heart. And perhaps that's why you have a little bit of a, I don't want to say a harsh demeanor, but yeah. And I resemble that remark. That's not a judgment at all, by the way. So you are very peaceful and receptive. And therefore, I feel like you're manifesting a lot of change, a lot of different things. Pile number 1 is not going to like me because this is the second time I've done this due to lighting issues. I brought out the crystal ball because it wanted to be known. You shock people who are locked into like cement, like they've cemented themselves in situations where they can't see a way out. And anyone, if you work with concrete and things like that, I'm not an expert in like any contracting, anything. But concrete, once that starts solidifying or does solidify, you're in deep trouble. And I guess there are repercussions even if you like are in concrete for some time and it starts solidifying, like that stuff, it can't be good for you. Anyways, moving on. I feel like this person has a stick, and even from their concrete place where they're submerged up to their neck in concrete, meaning that they are stuck in this like heavy energy that they can't get out of, or situations and whatnot. And I feel like this is a big stick, and it's almost like this person wants to poke the stick. You could have people come for you. You could have people gunning for you simply because they want to make you unshakable. And I don't know why that would be a thing. It just seems silly when this person needs to figure out how to get out of that concrete that they're locked into. And it's self-induced, by the way. You could have people want to poke holes and think that maybe you are probably, they probably think that you're like a facade, or what you have is a facade. But I feel like you're just very real. And given 2 minutes, they're going to find out real quick how real you are. What is that? I feel like that, it's that animation, Christmas animation with the cartoon, the claymation, of the snow monster. That could mean something to someone. Snow can mean that you're a little bit of a nice queen, being the Queen of Swords. King, it doesn't make a difference. I read energy, not sex. And then I see here a big cat, like a cheetah, or it doesn't look like a panther. It feels like a cheetah, just kind of relaxing in their little lair around some trees. So you could be seen as, you know, relaxing in nature, or doing what it is that you want and making no apologies for it. Like I'm about to apologize for my the mic drop. We had a mic drop. Pile number 3, you could be causing people, you could be doing the mic drop. You're like, I said what I said, okay? But I see all these as like buildings almost. I feel like you're separated from buildings, from almost like the masses, the way people do things in a certain way, the way people like cohabitate or build their lives and things like that. You're definitely different. And you break the molds. That's what it is. I see another door right here. Like you open portals and you really shock people. Okay, that's what it is. Look, if you see here, I don't know if this translates very well, but this to me looks like a person sitting hand, leg, and the guillotine right above their heads. I feel like you make people see that their head isn't in the guillotine. They're literally sitting on a freaking guillotine. I hope I'm saying that right. And their hands are crossed over each other, and it's almost like, well, I'm going to take a break, but I'm about to have my head lopped off. And you attract people like that. It's like, well, you know, kind of a hopelessness, or like a tired, like I'm just tired. I'm just going to sit here and rest for a minute. I'm going to drink a little poison, a little hemlock, a little cyanide, and, you know, just for a break. A little bit with my tea won't hurt. That kind of a mentality. And I feel like you have no patience for it. You have no patience for it, but you have the ability to subdue big opponents. I'm hearing like fee, fi, fo, fum, right? You have the ability to bring down really big opponents. And right here, I see like a female face. There's the hair. Here's the hands. You could have a lot of looky-loos again, trying to see what you're doing, trying to get into your energy, but you're divinely protected. There's a wall of fire around you that isn't going to allow for people to mess with your energy. I see another person here with the arms outstretched and the legs. And another skull right here. That person, yep, trying to poke the bear, trying to get a rise out of you. I feel like people want you to act out of character is the biggest thing, because look at her. You surprise people that because you can't be poked into acting against your own moral fiber or who you are. And so it's not like you're perfect. I mean, we all have times when, hey, we're going to say stuff that we don't mean, and we have to apologize for it and grow from it and learn from it or whatever. But I feel like you are on the throne of royalty, and people want to like poke holes in that, maybe even make fun with that, but those very same people can't take their eyeballs away from you. So there's much to be said about that, okay? Yeah. So you can attract people that want to fight, that are stubborn. So that's what I have for you. Pile number 3, if you're liking this kind of read, do give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. Much, much love to you. And until next time, namaste.